everyone, it has been a while. Welcome back to Vicky's Life Diaries. This is, I think, episode 8, I think. Today I have big plans, and that big plan is to go to the dentist. But because my dentist is in central London, I figured I would dress up and make an occasion out of it because I have not been outside my house in a very long time. Like any normal person who absolutely hates the dentist, I've spent the last 20 odd minutes brushing my teeth so my dentist doesn't judge me. I have not seen my dentist in about 3 years. I know that's bad. I know I should work on that. However, I live across the country and I am drop dead terrified of my dentist. So, let's fix this and then we'll go. Okay, we're gonna make this a mini quick get ready with me. I'm not doing anything too fancy today just because I really can't be arsed. So as per usual, I'm mixing my sunblock, my daily sunblock, SPF 50, everybody, SPF 50, and mixing it with my Drunk Elephant bronzing drops because I have, once again, recently come back from Dubai. I went to go see my boyfriend for a couple days. And tell me why I look so pale. Like, I have become more noticeably tan, don't get me wrong. However, at the same time, I think it's very rude how the sunscreen actually worked to the point where I didn't even get a tan on my face. And England, being the lovely soul-sucking country that it is, has decided to rid me of my entire tan, which I find very rude, personally. Next is concealer. It's still the exact same shade as like the ones I've had for like the last 5 years. It doesn't matter sunshine or winter. My winter shade is typically a bit lighter, but it depends if I have or have not gone on holiday. 2 years ago, I didn't go on holiday for like 4 years because of COVID and I had my A-levels and all of that stuff. And so when it came to be winter, I was so incredibly pale. As usual, blending everything but my eyes, because my eyes, I want them to last a little bit longer. When I was in Dubai, I got the new MAC Studio Fix powder. I wouldn't even call it new, but I got a new version of my powder because my powder broke. So this is actually really good. I like how it comes with a little cushion underneath. This is not an advert for MAC. I really wish it was. But yeah, I like the way it sits on my face. And so even if I mess up a little bit, it will kind of hide all of that. And because I've been so lucky to pick the correct skin tone for summer, this just works out very nicely. Next up is nose contour, because I have a wide nose that I don't like. Nose contour is very easy when you first start out. My only issue is that sometimes it can go horribly wrong, especially if you're using like cream contour or contour sticks. I absolutely hate that, so I always try to stick with a powder. That way it just looks more natural in a way. And also, I always find that powder is easy to work with just because it's so easy to blend in. I don't have to worry too much about that. Now, I know I've just said all of that stuff that I love powder. However, I do love cream blush with the Milk Muse lip and cheek. Putting a little bit on the brush. And trying to make it look like I'm not sunburnt because, contrary to popular belief, I've only been sunburnt once in my life. I focus on my eyes especially. Just because there's this Douyin trick which they put blush around their eyes. They focus it very much around their eyes and like the corner of their eyes and like their temple area. And I've always really liked that. So I tend to do like a very rushed B-Tech version of that. The thing with my makeup is that because I reuse the same things over and over and over again, I sort of very much only have one style when it comes to makeup, which I personally don't mind at all. However, I tried to do more intricate styles. I kind of lacked the resources, so I tried to typically find various intricate styles that I can do with the limited resources that I have. I always like to put a little bit of eyeliner when I'm going out in central London, just because I think it ties the look all together. And it works out pretty nicely for me. And the great thing about pencil liner is that because it's so easily smudgeable, I can do the perfect sort of shadow wing without me really having to do much. Just take my finger and I draw it out. Today is not a day for glitter and glam. Today is just a day for mascara and lash curling. Just because I don't want to really have too much going on in my face, especially if it's going to get ruined by the dentist later. A very funny feeling that I'm gonna walk into that dentist room absolutely sobbing in tears, because I do need to get my teeth cleaned professionally, because it is very overdue, and sometimes brushing just isn't enough. That being said, I'm still terrified of the dentist. So knowing me, I will inevitably break down and cry, but that's totally fine, because sometimes the best makeup looks always come with a side portion of tears. So, you know, I'm trying to make my makeup as waterproof as possible. Is this going to be messy by the end of the day? Naturally, it will be. I've got this like fruity lip balm from Dysic. I've had this for a while. It is one of my favorite things in the world. It's such a nice pink sheen. Honestly, this is the bunny. This is the perfect viral bunny's tongue pink I think anyone could ever ask for. Like, this is bunny's tongue pink, and it doesn't matter what anyone says, it is bunny's tongue pink. This is the final makeup look. It's not too bad, it's not too much, especially for a day like this when I'm not really doing anything except from running one errand and definitely going to get a coffee after because I need it. So this is the final look, complete with my Brixton Brewery bag that I got courtesy of work. I'm annoyed because going to the dentist means I can't get my morning coffee, and typically in the mornings, especially when I'm working, I will go to Gale's and get myself a coffee, or I'll go to Blank Street and get myself a blueberry matcha. Like, those things are things I need to survive, and I cannot go and get one before my dentist appointment because both of them do have a bad habit of staining teeth. So yeah, I am thriving right now, and it is time for me to go to the dentist, so let's go. Done. Most terrifying 20 minutes of my life that robbed me of 70 fucking pounds. So yeah, I've got another appointment on the 17th for 2:30, and yeah, time to go home. They didn't have what I needed. Well, they did, but I wasn't about to pay £11 for it. So I'm just gonna head home. Yeah, and then the plan is to do a quick workout, hopefully if the living room's free. And yeah, and then maybe bed rot for the rest of the day, just because work has taken a really big toll on my body. So I'm not the biggest fan of it. However,
I feel like working out will like help me prepare for the 40 hours I'm doing straight of work. I think because I'm still a little bit hungry, I'm gonna have something extra. So as is tradition, I'm going to make myself some fried bread and fried eggs because that's actually all I currently eat at the moment that I can eat. It's quick, it's easy to make, it doesn't take me long, the wash up time's quick as well. So it's been really good for me while I've been going to and from work, because some days I'll start at 11 a.m. and I'll finish at 11:30 p.m. and at the end of the day I just want a quick and light snack, and so it's normally what I make. So, little update, I was gonna work out and then I crawled into bed and fell asleep. So I think now I'm gonna go actually work out, and then I'm going to start getting ready for bed because it is currently 8 p.m. I had a 3-hour nap.
So I finished working out, I've already had my shower, but I haven't done my skincare yet because I wanted to show you guys exactly what products I use and how I think they help me. So I think the first thing to do is put on the hairband. Does it look a little bit silly? Yes, it does, but it's better than getting acne along my forehead because those pimples are horrible to pop. So the first thing I like to go in with is my Clinique cleansing balm. I have had this for 8 months now. It's running pretty dry and I really like it just because it melts the makeup off so easily. And the thing is, you don't need a lot even just to get started. Like that will be enough for me, and it's very nice on the skin. It is oily, but it's an oil balm, it's an oil cleanser. I will always stress the importance of double cleansing just because it really helps to sort of get underneath everything that you put on. In the mornings I'll put on sunscreen, I'll put on makeup, and this just breaks down the initial barrier. It breaks down the initial makeup and sunscreen and all of that, and also it gets off my mascara and eyeliner really well. That leaves me feeling very refreshed. Make sure you get the full properties. I like to emulsify it a little bit with just a little bit of water, and you'll see how it like turns a little bit white, and then you just continue scrubbing this. The best way to cleanse is to cleanse for up to a minute, like 30 seconds to a minute for both cleansers, so oil and regular cleansers. So yeah, so that way you get the full properties and all of the benefits of it. I like to focus a lot on my nose, especially during the summer, just because my nose produces a lot more oil during the summer and I get a lot more sebaceous filaments, so this just really helps get all of that gunk out, especially after a long day. I leave my face absolutely soaking wet while I go in with this absolutely massive cleanser. This has lasted me a good year now. It's one of my favorite cleansers. It's really good. It cleanses really well, gets into all of the nitty gritty. I've always really liked skincare ever since I've been like quite young, especially when I started getting into K-pop and K-dramas. I've always really liked, you know, how they always have flawless skin, and I do try to emulate that. I think having good skincare is also like a good part of like a wellness routine. Like it does promote a lot of self-care. You do have to take care of yourself and invest in yourself. These products are not cheap. Like sometimes they can be, depending on where you get them from. It's why I always say that self-care is a privilege, because self-care is investment. You do have to invest in these products, and I've invested quite heavily, and it's why my skin is the way it is. I'm unable to afford Botox, even though I would really like some at later points in my life, but I'm just not there yet. The next thing I'm using is these AHA, BHA, PHA Miracle True Secca Clear Pad Toner Pads by Sun By Me. I ran out of my other toner pads, so I am using these really quickly. And I really like toner pads just because I think they're more versatile than we give them credit for. Like, toner can be used in so many different ways, But the thing I really like about the toner pads is that worst comes to worst, if I need like an extra eye mask or something, I can cut these directly in half and I can just put them under my eyes. I can leave them on the high points of my cheekbones just for extra hydration. They're quite nice. I always make sure to drag this one down to the bottom of my neck as well, just to make sure I'm really getting all of the excess gunk. I use the exfoliating pad to make sure that my skin is entirely clean, and then I use the softer pad just to rehydrate the rest of my skin. Because I've just put on AHA, BHA and PHA, which are all exfoliants, I'm now going to use this Hari Hari Wonder Rice Back Control Eye Cream. It's a retinol alternative. I don't think it has any retinol in, but so far while I've been using it, I've had no complaints. It's a pump form, it's quite nice. And I just put it under my eyes, and I like to put a little bit on my forehead because working has really caused a lot of fine lines there, and a little bit just on my smile lines because I'm a little bit conscious of my smile lines now, especially as I'm getting to that point in my life where I am starting to smile a lot more. They do become a lot more apparent, and while smile lines indicate that I am happy and I'm incredibly grateful to be happy, given everything that's going on in the world right now, you know, it's still not easy watching myself essentially age. I've always had this massive fear of aging, so I try to prevent it as much as possible, as you can see with my skincare, and this is what comes out of it, you know? So now that my retinol alternative is done and it's sat on my face, I'm using this Aqua Deep Moisture Sleeping Pack as my moisturizer. I love this moisturizer. Well, I like using it as a moisturizer just because it's really silky, it's really smooth, it does not feel heavy at all, which is kind of what I'm looking for in like a moisturizer. I don't like when my moisturizers feel very heavy and very oily. I really don't like it when they do that, just because I feel like when they feel very heavy and very oily, especially in the summer months, it gets very hard to breathe. It doesn't let my skin breathe quite as much, and I love how my natural skin sort of flourishes under this very lightweight moisturizer. It doesn't feel like there's too much on my skin, and it leaves me with this gorgeous glow. My last step is to drink some water. This is sparkling water that I nicked from work, and then apply a lip mask. I've always preferred sparkling water to regular water. I don't know, I think it's the bubbles. It is lip mask time. This is the same one from Laneige. I don't really use it that much, I'll be so for real. Like, I like the texture of it, I just always forget to apply it. The thing is, I know everyone was raving about it, like earlier this year and earlier last year. And like, I get the hype, it feels nice, but I personally don't really think it's that worth it, so I don't know, I think it got a bit overhyped and it brought into the whole consumerist narrative, which is unfortunate, but hey ho, that's how it goes. So I'm tucked in bed. I think that's gonna be it for this episode of Vicky's Life Diaries. I would say, you know, I'll film tomorrow, but honestly, tomorrow and Wednesday are my days off, and I don't really feel like doing anything, especially on my days off, just because work is so hectic. And when I do get days off, I really do value them, and I just try to sleep and relax and recover, because it does take a lot of stress on my body, which I'm not really a big fan of. I've noticed that my body has changed significantly since I've started working, and that's not a bad thing, you know, bodies do fluctuate, but it's to that point where I'm not comfortable with it. So tomorrow I just want to rest and relax and make sure that my muscles have time to recover before I do 40 hours straight. So yeah, that will be it for Vicky's Life Diaries. I don't know when the next episode will be. It will probably be for Stray Kids. So yeah, that's it for Vicky's Life Diaries, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!